Nobody can hold you back, break you, or stop you unless you let them. You see, power isn't taken from you. It's surrendered. The great political thinker Machiavelli understood this truth deeply. He saw that most people live chained not by enemies, but by their own hesitation, guilt, and fear. They're prisoners of others' opinions, slaves to their emotions, and servants to comfort. But the moment you decide to rule yourself, the world loses its control over you. Nobody can stop a person who has stopped being ruled by their feelings. The world doesn't break the strong, it only exposes the weak. It doesn't destroy your power. It tests whether you deserve to keep it. And that test comes in the form of resistance, betrayal, failure, and rejection. But a strategic mind knows resistance isn't punishment. It's the training ground of leaders. The weak run from it. The strong are sharpened by it. Because strength isn't built in peace, it's forged under pressure. So, the first step to becoming unstoppable is this: stop waiting for permission. No one is going to come and crown you. You must seize your own throne. The powerful don't ask, "Can I?" They decide, "I will." Machiavelli said fortune favors the bold because the bold move when others hesitate. They don't need perfect timing or anyone's approval. They move first, and the world adjusts around them. When people try to hold you back, they often use manipulation, guilt, doubt, or the illusion of morality. They'll say you've changed. They'll say you're selfish. They'll say you've lost your heart. But remember this: the world praises virtue only when it serves its own interests. The moment your ambition outgrows their comfort zone, they'll call you dangerous. So be dangerous. The person who stops seeking approval becomes untouchable. Nobody can break you once you've accepted that pain is a part of gaining power. Weakness dies when you no longer fear discomfort. Every insult, every loss, every betrayal, they are weapons only if you take them personally. The moment you detach, they lose their sting. Machiavelli advised learning to use both love and fear because love can vanish, but a healthy respect remains. When the world sees that nothing shakes you, it stops trying to control you. The truth is, people will try to stop you because your strength reflects their own surrender. Your confidence reminds them of everything they gave up. They'll call you cold because you refuse to be manipulated by emotion. They'll call you arrogant because you refuse to bow down. They'll call you ruthless because you refuse to waste time explaining yourself. But what they really mean is, they can't control you anymore. And that is your power. The person who cannot be stopped moves differently. They don't waste words. They don't broadcast their emotions. They calculate, they observe, and they choose their battles with surgical precision. They know when to strike and when to disappear into the background. Machiavelli called it the art of appearing ordinary while being untouchable. Because true strength doesn't need to be seen. It just needs to be felt. Nobody can hold you back when your loyalty belongs only to your purpose. The world will try to distract you with comfort, seduce you with applause, and tame you with rewards. But the strategic mind knows these are often traps disguised as gifts. Comfort kills hunger. Praise kills focus. The moment you begin to crave recognition, you start to lose your edge. You don't chase validation. You become your own validation. Every person who rose to power faced betrayal. Every empire was built on broken trust. That's not being cruel, it's simply reality. The powerful understand that loyalty can be temporary, but control over oneself is permanent. So, stop expecting unwavering loyalty from those who benefit from your weakness. Instead, build your strength until their betrayal no longer matters. When you rely on no one but yourself, no one can truly betray you. You must also remember this: being unstoppable isn't about attacking everything in sight. It's about mastering patience. Machiavelli wrote that timing is half of power. The weak rush in, driven by emotion. The strong wait patiently for their moment. They move in silence, build in the shadows, and only reveal the results. The quiet person often terrifies the loud because their silence implies strategy. And when the world sees that you cannot be shaken, that no insult breaks your calm, no obstacle stops your movement, no setback kills your will, they begin to treat you differently. They might not like you, but they will respect you. Because they realize you cannot be broken by the same things that destroy them. That's the essence of dominance, not aggression, But self-control? Nobody can stop the person who is at peace with being alone. Solitude isn't weakness. It's a source of strength. It's where great leaders are forged. When you can think alone, plan alone, and act alone, you become truly independent. You no longer need the world to validate your direction. You create your own certainty. The weak depend on company to feel confident. The strong draw confidence from their own silence. When you stop depending on approval, you stop being controlled. When you stop explaining yourself, you stop being judged. When you stop fearing loss, you stop being limited. That is when you rise above everyone who ever doubted you. Because real power doesn't come from what you gain, it comes from what you no longer need. So understand this truth: nobody can hold you back, nobody can break you, nobody can stop you unless you break yourself. Your enemies don't destroy you. Your own weakness does, your doubt does, your hesitation does. The moment you master those internal forces, you become unstoppable. You don't need permission to rise. You don't need validation to act. You don't need agreement to lead. All you need is control over yourself, your emotions, and your reactions. The person who rules themselves can rule their world. Machiavelli's final lesson is this: power isn't given, it's taken. Respect isn't asked for, it's commanded. Freedom isn't granted, it's built. You are already powerful, but only if you decide to be. So rise, move, act, build, stop waiting for the world to open the door for you and break it down instead. Because the truth is simple: the moment you stop doubting your power, nobody can hold you back, nobody can break you. And absolutely nobody can stop you. Thanks for watching. If this message resonated with you, hit that subscribe button and join us for more content that empowers you to take control. Until next time. Every man who rises will face a moment when the world tries to break him. It won't come with a declaration of war, but with quiet sabotage. The whispers behind your back, the betrayal from those you trusted, the rejection from people who once praised you, all of it is a test. The weak crumble under it. The strong evolve through it. As Machiavelli might tell you, never curse your hardship because it's the tool that forges your armor. Every humiliation becomes a lesson, every failure a strategy, and every scar a shield. Power doesn't grow in the light of comfort. It's born in the darkness of struggle. You cannot become unstoppable until you've walked through the fire of disappointment and kept moving forward. The world only respects those who keep walking even after their pride has been shattered. When everything falls apart and you still stand with silent focus, that's when you become dangerous. Most people are broken not by their enemies but by their own emotions. They let anger expose them. They let sadness drain them. They let pride blind them. The powerful man, however, learns emotional silence. Not because he doesn't feel, but because he chooses when to reveal it. Machiavelli said that a leader must be both a lion and a fox, fierce enough to strike, clever enough to hide his claws. You don't show rage, you channel it into strategy. You don't show pain, you turn it into patience. That is how you win wars without showing your wounds. Nobody can hold you back once you master your reactions. Every insult that doesn't shake you weakens your enemies. Every rejection that doesn't discourage you terrifies those who expected you to collapse. When they realize you can't be emotionally manipulated, they lose control. The silent man becomes the most feared man because no one knows what moves him, what he plans, or when he will strike. The world wants you to doubt yourself because doubt makes you obedient. Society trains you to apologize for your strength, to dim your intelligence, and to fear your ambition. But Machiavelli would call that foolish. He'd say, if your light offends them, let them wear shades. Never shrink for the comfort of others. Never downplay your drive. The lion does not lower his roar to calm the sheep. They will try to label you arrogant, cold, cruel, obsessed. Let them. Those are the words of the powerless describing the powerful. Every great leader, every legend, every conqueror was called dangerous before they were called brilliant. They will mock you until they need you. They will resist you until they fear you. And then silently they will follow you. Remember, power is not found in words, it's in silence. It's not in promises, but in consistency. You don't prove yourself by arguing, you prove yourself by executing. You don't chase recognition. You make your results so undeniable that even your enemies have to respect you. Machiavelli wrote that it's better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. He didn't mean cruelty, he meant dominance. Fear commands attention. Love invites dependence. The wise man balances both but relies on neither. The man who cannot be stopped is not the loudest in the room. He is the most calculated. He studies people, observes patterns, and moves with precision. While others react, he predicts. While others talk, he prepares. That's why he wins. You can't defeat a man who is always 10 steps ahead because he's already accepted every outcome and planned for it. When you begin to think like this, the world transforms. You stop seeing insults as attacks, you see them as data. You stop taking rejection personally, you see it as redirection. You stop viewing failure as the end, you see it as refinement. The Machiavellian mind never loses, it only learns. Every loss becomes information, every betrayal becomes clarity. Every mistake becomes a blueprint for dominance. There will come a time when you will be completely alone, when no one believes in you, when every path seems blocked. That's the moment most men give up. But that is when the strong truly awaken. Machiavelli would say that this is the moment you separate yourself from the common man. Because the throne is not inherited through comfort, it's taken through endurance. Keep walking when no one claps. Keep building when no one sees. Keep believing when no one understands. That is how legends are made. You must also learn the dark truth of power. Not everyone deserves your loyalty. Some people will smile to your face while sharpening knives behind your back. That is their nature. But instead of hating them, study them, predict their moves. Use their own actions against them. The greatest revenge is not anger, it's control. You don't destroy your enemies by reacting. You destroy them by outlasting them. Time is the ultimate weapon. Power is patience sharpened by pain. It is the art of waiting without losing focus. Most people can fight for a day. Few can plan for a decade. Machiavelli's rulers were not impulsive, they were strategic. They understood that the world bends to those who can endure boredom, delay, and silence. When everyone else rushes, you hold still. When everyone panics, you remain calm. The composure is what breaks your enemies without you ever having to raise your voice. Nobody can hold you back once you've built yourself from the ground up. Because the man who built himself can always rebuild himself. The man who earned his throne doesn't fear losing it. And the man who learned to move alone never fears abandonment. Independence is the ultimate weapon. Dependence is the ultimate weakness. So from this moment on, stop waiting for fairness. Stop chasing validation. Stop asking for permission. The world doesn't owe you anything, and that is your greatest advantage. Because when you expect nothing, you are never disappointed. When you rely on no one, you are never betrayed. When you need no approval, you are completely free. This is how Machiavelli would tell you to live, with cold clarity, ruthless patience, and absolute self-control. Let the world call you dark. Let them call you heartless. Because only those who have never tasted power fear its flavor. You, however, you will master it. You will become the man no one can hold back, no one can break, and no one can stop. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, subscribe and hit the bell to join us on this journey. Until next time, stay strong. The world will always test those who dare to rise. Think about it. The higher you climb, the more resistance you feel, the more the wind pushes against you. It's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because you're no longer manageable. People admire strength, but only until it threatens their own comfort. They'll cheer for your ambition right up until it starts to overshadow their mediocrity. But here's a lesson from Machiavelli. Never ever shrink for the fragile. Weak men will always hate what they cannot control. The very moment you stop playing by their unwritten rules, they'll call you dangerous. My advice? Wear that label like a suit of armor, because danger is only a threat to the weak. It's a sign of respect to the powerful. The man who cannot be controlled becomes the man who must be respected. You'll soon learn that your silence terrifies the shallow. They expect you to explain yourself, to justify your actions, to beg for their understanding. But you say nothing. You simply move, you act, and you win. Let them talk while you build your empire. Let them gossip while you lay down your plans. Every single word they waste talking about you is just proof that you are living in their heads, rent-free. Machiavelli said that appearances rule the world, not reality, so let them see only what you want them to see. Smile when they expect you to show rage. Stay calm when they're hoping for chaos. The more unpredictable you become, the less power they have over you. Real control isn't about dominating others. It's about discipline over yourself. When you control yourself, you control every situation you walk into. You no longer react on impulse. You respond with intention. You no longer seek fairness from an unfair world. You create your own advantage. You stop fearing loss because you've already accepted it as the necessary price of greatness. Those who fear losing are slaves to that fear. But those who accept the possibility of loss become kings of calculated risk. This path, the path to real power, will inevitably isolate you. You will outgrow people, places, and habits that once felt like home, and yes, it will hurt. But that pain isn't a setback. It's the feeling of evolution. Machiavelli believed a leader must know when to cut ties not because he lacks loyalty, but because loyalty to weakness is a betrayal of your own strength. You cannot grow while clinging to the very things that are holding you down. When your focus becomes sharp enough, all the distractions will start to fade away on their own. People will look at you and say, "You've changed." And you know what? They're right. You've evolved. The man who lives by emotion stays stuck in the same frustrating cycles. But the man who lives by a vision is the one who breaks them. You have to start seeing yourself as a strategist, not a victim of circumstance. Every challenge is just a move on the chessboard. Every betrayal is a signal to play the game differently. Every setback is a chance to refine your tactics. The weak ask, "Why is this happening to me?" The powerful ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" That one simple question is what separates the builders from the broken. The day you stop complaining is the day your real ascent begins. The universe doesn't reward excuses. It rewards endurance. Machiavelli famously said it's better to act and face the consequences than to hesitate and miss the opportunity. Hesitation kills more dreams than failure ever will. So move, act, make a decision. Even if the path isn't perfectly clear, motion creates clarity. The longer you wait for certainty, the more your mind will rot with doubt. Confidence isn't about knowing everything. It's about trusting yourself to adapt to anything. Once you truly internalize that, fear becomes irrelevant. Nobody can stop a man who is prepared to rebuild himself from the ashes. You can burn everything he owns, but you can't touch the fire that's inside him. This is why Machiavelli emphasized the power of knowledge, because knowledge makes you self-sufficient. Learn constantly, study people, study patterns. Learn how the world really works. Because when you understand people's motives, their attempts at manipulation become completely transparent. You stop getting offended. You start predicting their next move, and prediction is power. Never reveal all your thoughts. Always speak less than you know. Smile more than you feel. Let your enemies misjudge your silence as weakness. It's your camouflage. While they're busy underestimating you, you're quietly calculating their downfall. As Machiavelli would say, never waste your strength trying to prove your strength. The lion doesn't roar before it strikes. It waits, it watches, and then it ends the fight in one decisive move. That is how you should approach your life. Efficiency over emotion. Results over reaction. Strategy over sympathy. The moment you start thinking like this, you will terrify those who live by impulse. They can't understand someone who isn't moved by the same chaos that rules their own lives. They'll try to provoke you, to pull you into their emotional traps. Do not engage. Let them reveal their hand through all their noise while you remain composed in your silence. You are no longer just a participant in the world. You are its observer, its architect. You don't respond to pressure, you apply it. You don't chase opportunities, you create them. You don't ask for respect. You command it through your actions. And when you command respect, fear and admiration start to look exactly the same. The weak will envy you, the average will try to copy you, and the wise will want to join you. That is the natural order of power. And remember this, above all else, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is responsible for your destiny but you. Waiting for the world to be fair is a fool's prayer. This world is ruled by those who act as if they already deserve everything they dream of. So, act like you belong, and the world will start to rearrange itself to fit that belief. Machiavelli's greatest secret was this: true power is not about domination over others. It's about absolute mastery over yourself. If you can control your urges, your emotions, your reactions, you already hold an empire within you. And no one, no enemy, no critic, no betrayal can ever take that from you. The man who owns himself cannot be broken. So when the world throws chaos at you, just smile. When people doubt you, thank them. Their disbelief is your fuel. When you fail, rise again in silence and let your comeback make all the noise. Because in the end, the Machiavellian way isn't about being evil. It's about being effective. It's about refusing to be ruled by weakness and choosing to live a life of purpose, precision, and power. So move with calm, think with coldness, act with conviction, and never, ever allow anyone to stop you. Because the only thing that can truly defeat you is forgetting who you are becoming. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, subscribe and join us for more. We're just getting started. Have you ever noticed that the moment you start to truly evolve, the world seems to turn against you? The people who once cheered you on suddenly fall silent. Friends who praised you start to compete. The family that encouraged you now calls you distant. Don't take it personally. This isn't betrayal, it's exposure. Your strength is revealing their weakness. Your rise is a mirror reflecting their own stagnation. Machiavelli understood this profound truth. Power doesn't corrupt people. It simply reveals who they have always been. When they see you becoming more disciplined, more confident, more untouchable, they will try to pull you back down. They'll tell you that you've changed, and they are absolutely right. You've evolved beyond their reach. The Machiavellian mind doesn't waste energy arguing with those who can't comprehend its journey. It observes in silence. It knows that silence is the ultimate weapon. Silence starves the weak of the attention they crave and utterly confuses the manipulator. While they desperately demand a reaction, you give them stillness. And stillness terrifies those who expect chaos. It forces them to doubt themselves, to question their own motives. It makes them reveal their hand. This is why Machiavelli taught that a wise person should never reveal their full intent. Mystery is control. The less others know about your plans, the more their imagination runs wild. And the more they imagine, the more power you hold over their perception of you. You must become unpredictable, like smoke. When they expect you to explode with anger, you smile. When they think you're about to quit, you double down on your efforts. When they believe you've fallen, you rise quietly, without fanfare. Predictability is a death sentence. Adaptability is true power. No one can hold you back if they can't anticipate your next move. This world belongs to the strategist, not the emotional reactor. The one who sees 10 steps ahead doesn't just fight battles, they design them. You have to train your mind to detach. Stop taking insults personally. Stop taking rejection emotionally. Stop viewing failure as a tragic end. The moment you strip emotion from your reaction, you begin to move like a ruler. You start to see life not as a whirlwind of chaos, but as a grand chessboard of opportunity. Every person, every situation, every setback becomes a move to study, a test to master, and a lesson to absorb. The Machiavellian way is simple. Learn faster than you fail. That's the secret. Adaptation will always beat luck. Intelligence will always beat raw impulse. And patience will always beat brute power. You don't need to be the strongest person in the room, just the most strategic. You can lose the battle today, but if you understand why you lost, you will dominate the war tomorrow. The weak chase comfort. The strong chase clarity. This is precisely why most people never rise. They are addicted to the temporary high of feeling good instead of dedicating themselves to the arduous process of becoming great. You must learn to embrace discomfort as an ally. Pain will teach you the lessons that pleasure carefully hides. Every single setback will expose a hard truth you were too comfortable to see. That's why the powerful are grateful for their struggles, because struggle sharpens the instincts that comfort completely destroys. As Machiavelli might say, he who controls his suffering controls his destiny. When you stop running from pain, you start running toward power. Real power doesn't come from a life of ease. It comes from endurance. The more storms you successfully weather, the less fear you feel. And a person without fear cannot be ruled. Understand this critical point. Those who try to break you are actually doing you a favor. They are polishing your armor. They are preparing you for the throne. Every insult is a test of your resolve. Every betrayal is a lesson in discernment. Every rejection is a filter, removing those who were never meant to be part of your journey. So let people walk away. Let them doubt you. Let them try to stop you. Without even realizing it, they are writing the most dramatic chapters of your legend. One day, they will whisper your name in silence, not out of hate, but out of a grudging respect. But that future only comes to pass if you endure the trials of now. Never reveal your frustration. Never beg for understanding. Never, ever let emotion dictate your decisions. The Machiavellian mind knows exactly when to retreat, when to strike, and when to wait. Most battles are lost because people fight when they should have been planning. The wise only engage in a fight when the outcome has already been decided in their favor. Control the timing, control the setting. Control yourself and you will control everything else. Power isn't about domination. It's about perception. The one who controls how others perceive reality has already won half the war. This is why your public image must always remain composed. Never let the world see you as desperate. Never let them see you as chaotic. Calmness itself is a powerful message. It communicates, I am in control even when surrounded by fire. This unnerves people. They won't understand how you can remain calm in a situation where they would have broken. And that is the exact moment you become untouchable, when even destruction itself cannot move your mind. Perhaps Machiavelli's greatest truth is this: nobody can destroy a person who has first conquered themselves. You are not defined by what happens to you. You are defined by how you respond to it. They can take your comfort, your status, your possessions, but they can never take your will unless you willingly hand it over. So protect it. Guard it like a king guards his throne, because your willpower asterisk is asterisk your throne. Lose it, and your entire empire collapses. Keep it, and absolutely nothing can stop your rise. You must begin to live by strategy, not by sympathy. Feel deeply, but act with cold precision. Care more about your vision than you do about other people's opinions. The world will not reward you for your emotions. It will reward you for your execution. Talk less, do more, promise nothing, deliver everything. That is the Machiavellian creed. The day you stop feeling the need to explain yourself is the day you step into your true power. The world doesn't need to understand your moves. It only needs to witness your results. Walk into every room with a quiet authority. Speak only when it is necessary. Move only with clear intention. Every word you say should carry weight. Every action you take should have a purpose. Because the person who wastes nothing, no time, no energy, no emotion becomes unstoppable. They are not distracted by the noise. They are not slowed by doubt. They are not controlled by the opinions of the weak. They become the calm center in a chaotic world. That is true mastery. And once you reach that level, nothing and no one can hold you back. Not failure, not betrayal, not time, and certainly not fear. Thank you for watching. If this message resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content on strategy, power, and self-mastery. We'll see you in the next one.